small glimpse of your breath, stained shirts and cigarettes. I failed again, trying my best. Forget my fears, ignore all my threats. Just lay your mind on my chest. You seem like that kind of guy, so play me tonight. I hate what you're doing, I hate that it feels so right. You should, we're out of their sight. They're staring through the car lights. I hate what you're doing, I hate that it feels so. But I'm in your garden again until it's full. Conversations have started, what could this be? Don't you be so startled that I wanted more. I could answer your troubles if you let me in. I'd be out here for longer, but it's just too cold. And with nowhere to hide us, it won't come true. I call for the finish before we get old. And you sick in the tone with where you've been. You seem like that kind of guy to play me tonight. I hate what you're doing, I hate that it feels so right. You should, we're out of their sight. They're staring through the car lights. I hate what you're doing, I hate that it feels so. I'm not scared, there's nothing to run from. I'm not scared, there's nothing to run from. Well, I feel like I'm falling for someone. I feel like I'm falling for someone. I'm not scared, there's nothing to run from. I'm not scared, there's nothing to run from. Well, I feel like I'm falling for someone. I feel like I'm falling for someone else. You can hold my hand in a crowded place, but just hold me close enough that they don't see my face. Why don't you come right here? Let's see how you taste. And just hold me close enough that they don't see my face. That kind of guy to play me tonight. I hate what you're doing, I hate that it feels so right. You should, we're out of their sight. They're staring through the colors.
Hello. So you did so much bullshit. I don't want to hear shit from you. Alright, welcome to Title Pending. I have no idea what the fuck this game is about. I just heard it has Stanley Parable vibes, and I said, fuck it, let's do it. I was also bullied into playing this, so you're welcome. Hello, I'm Matthew Stan. I'm the leader of the GFC Gaming Enterprise. You've been chosen on our list of applicants to play test our new game, such as which does not have a title. Please contact me ASAP. Great! Love that we start off at a bathroom.
Hi, my name is Matthew Stanton, and I'm the lead developer at JMC Gaming Enterprises. Today, you'll be playtesting my first level of an experimental puzzle game that we've been working on here for a few months. While you play, I'll be giving background information on our development process and some of the challenges me and my team faced.
We're gonna fuck around and find out so hard.
Oh, fun fact actually. This hallway, it was only originally created to test the engine we're making the game on, but it eventually expanded into what you're playing now.
Makes sense. Why is there so much fucking graffiti? Why am I looking at a camera? Oh shit. I generally think that was not gonna do anything.
That's a great idea, Matthew. Let's add a driving minigame to our first-person walking simulator. That's a fantastic idea that definitely won't take 80% of our development funds. Bright idea. I'm amazed I didn't think of it sooner. Christ. Is this thing on?
You wanna tell me about that? You wanna tell me about that, Chief? Femboys. Femboys! I'm kidding. Can I go in the fancy elevator? What the fuck? Oh, cool. What the fuck? Why is there two of you? Again, we all know my opinion of the femboys. That motherfucker went flying. Okay. Why is there so many fucking cameras? What the fuck was that? Oh. Debug room? Let me the fuck in the debug room. I need a crowbar. Ah, yes, of course shit's out of order. Oh!
What?
I got an achievement from that. Okay. Love that. I love just getting random ass things. Why? What the fucking camera? I need a fucking crowbar. Come on. The fuck is that? You bitch. Oh. Why am I in a bedroom?
Well, you made it to the end of the first level.
That's the first
Congrats, I guess. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a tad underwhelmed, though. Not by any fault of your own, of course, but, look, I'll just be straight with you. You're the only person who signed up to playtest, so
Oh.
thanks for playing, I guess. Alright, just give me a second, I'll close the game for you.
No, the fuck you are not. No, the fuck you are not.
That's weird. Not sure why the game isn't closing, but I guess you can...
Oh. They gave me ultimate fuck around, find out powers.
Hi, my name is Matthew Stanton, and I'm the lead developer at JMC Gaming Enterprises. Today we'll be playtesting the first level of an experimental puzzle game that we've been working...
Yeah, you put two and two
Sorry,
together.
lost my train of thought there
Fuck.
for a second.
Ow.
Anyway, let's get started.
Fuck. Stream it down. Stream it down. Also, let's not talk about the fact I got the react button faster than Tubbs. Let's not talk about that. Well, good to know I can do something with that. Oh, you son of a bitch, you do follow me. I can't go back! What if I just stay in the bathroom? What if I just stay in the bathroom? Alright, fine. I'll be a good little play tester. Oh, you motherfuckers do follow me. Okay, that makes complete sense.
Sometimes I think you like blocking me.
Want to see if it's a different message? I'm curious.
Hello, and thank you for calling JMC Gaming Enterprises.
It's different.
The person you are trying to reach is currently unavailable. If you would like to leave a message, press...
That sounded suspiciously weird. No, my soda! Wait. I don't think I'm supposed to be in here. I don't think I'm supposed to be in here. Fuck you!
Okay, I'm just going to go completely against what I'm supposed to do here, but you are not going the right way. At all. I didn't even know there was an elevator in the level, so the fact that you're going up it probably means it isn't supposed to happen. So, go back down when it gets to the top, please?
No.
Yeah, that's probably bad news. I'd go back down.
What happened, Wayward? Nah. The camera still fucking works. Some of the... What is that? Yeah, nah, Chief. I'm gonna go do the complete opposite of what you tell me what to do. Yeah, that's not ominous.
Alright, I've now resigned to the fact that you're probably not going to stop going this way.
Yep!
So fine. It's your job as the playtester to find stuff we didn't expect, so keep going.
Wayward just unironically got gifted a sub for Cat. She doesn't even follow. I'm in a kitchen. Madam, you bully this man continuously. Yes, you're not getting a fucking sub for him. We're just gonna let the microwave continue.
Did you pick that up because you'll think you'll need it, or did you do it because it was shiny?
Yes!
Asking for playtesting purposes, of course.
The answer is yes. Oh god.
Well, this looks ominous.
I'm going to JSA Skylabs. What does this even mean? What with the people writing vague statements using very large text around here, how I lost contact with Nick. All this for a few play tests. What are we thinking? Wasn't it your idea? Shut up. We all could probably be trapped here for eternity. You guys are treating it like a play. Here, preschool white boy. You really do need to write smaller. Still no sign of room. Stuff like this shouldn't be trusted with professional equipment. I miss my dog. I miss your mom. It took me 3 restarts to come up with that. Alright, I'm still in the theory that I need a fucking crowbar for this shit. There's no door. Okay. We're going to the ominous door.
Wait, the end? This isn't the end, though. There's still 2 more levels you're supposed to complete. I mean, unless the other developers change something without telling me, which, to be completely honest, wouldn't surprise me at this point. You should be on the most recent version of the game, and none of this was here before. The game files came straight off of my computer earlier this morning, and I can personally assure you that this is not the end. Why would it just end here? You know what? There's not really much that left in this level anyway, and it's not super important, so we can just skip to level 2.
Hey, yo.
Okay,
Nope.
Level 2 isn't opening. Great. As if nothing else could go bad during this. Let me try this.
I could just leave as well. You're not about to give me no clip.
Cheat commands unless the server has SV cheat set to 1. What is that even supposed to mean? We don't even have servers. Okay, let me just get
Broke
this
the
straight.
game.
You turned on power to an elevator that I was not aware of, then
Yes.
took said elevator to an area I was not aware
Yes.
of, then went into a room that I was not aware of,
Yes.
where there was a message that is not only verifiably not true, but that I was also not aware
Yes.
of. Wow. The end. How could all of this have been created without me knowing?
I don't know,
like
but
I said before, all of the game files came off of my computer this morning,
Oh, damn it, they
right
took
before
off
you
my-
got here. And all of this wasn't in the level when it was. Was this added before? No. It couldn't have been. I would have noticed it. So all of this had to have been added this morning. I'm baffled, honestly.
Man sounds so confused.
Time machine to be able to add all of this will be faster than light, or we'd have to be inside the game, but that's probably the stupidest.
Okay. What the fuck? Let me out!
Okay, that definitely just broke something, so I'll assume I was on the right track with that line of thought. I guess the game doesn't like self-awareness. So we are in the game. Either that or it's just a very conveniently timed glitch, but I doubt it. How does being inside of a game work?
I don't know!
I should know, since I'm in one apparently, but it seems normal.
Did you not
so
see
far.
the wall for the room that we just saw?
As this is, I mean. I'd ask you what you think, but you're not exactly the most talkative, so I doubt I'd get an answer. why are we even in the game to begin with?
The
And
fuck
better
do I
yet,
know?
Where do you come in all this? You're supposed to be playtesting a game that I made. But if I'm
know what?
inside of it, then how could I, 1, create the game that you're playing, and 2, contact you to even play it? It just doesn't make any sense. Did someone else at JMC contact you? Are you playtesting a game where you play as a playtester? Or are
Matthew?
you just...
You shouldn't be here. Oh! Ah! No! 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 Not only should you not be in this room, you also shouldn't be in this game to begin with! I've scanned your JSC Entertainment files in countless times, and you aren't listed anywhere. Let me the fuck go! How do you know my name? Not only have you broken our confidentiality agreement, you've also broken the entire game. So thanks for that. I didn't do shit. I didn't do anything, Chief. Ah! So the main reason you're still here is because you curious about the happenings around you. Maybe. And that's fair. That's a fair excuse. However, your continued existence here is troublesome. Cannot allow Stanton to become aware of the current situations. Oh, so you fucking deleted him from the world! Since I doubt you'd be able to keep you out of here if I tried. So I'll give you a choice. Oh, fantastic. You can either leave right now, forget everything you saw here, and never come back. I'm gonna go with option B. Or you can stay here forever. I'll take option B. Regardless of which you pick, the outcome isn't going to change much. But take it from me. They took the TV, you bitch. Much better for everyone involved. But I have fuck around to find out energy. However, for some reason, you still decide to remain here and fruitlessly try to gain something from it. Then be my guest. Yeah, I'm gonna chill here then. But it would be great. Greatly appreciate it if you could heed these words for next time. Don't meddle with things you don't fully understand. We're fucking around and finding out. Continue as if nothing happened here. And please, behave yourself. I was just told to behave. Guess what I'm gonna do? The opposite! You called my happy ass out by name. I'm causing trouble. I was not expecting the name call out. Okay. Good thing I turned on a button. Matthew?
Hi, my net. Did something just happen?
What did that say?
I thought we were. Well, that was weird.
I saw the text.
Sorry, my name is Matthew Stanton, and I'm the lead developer. Let's get started.
I saw that text. Why? Yeah, you bitch! So you're deciding to stay? Yes. Fine then. Let the game begin. Huh?
Did something just happen?
Maybe. Oh God! Alright, you bitches are still... Okay, that's fair. Nice. on. What the fuck did you drag me in to?
Hello, and thank you for calling JMC Gaming Enterprises. The person you are trying to reach is currently unavailable. If you would like to leave a message, press...
So it's the same now. Lost pet. Oh, wait. Attention. The supply closet is now off limits due to recent incident. Thank you for understanding. Who the fuck fucked around in a supply closet? You son of a bitch. Attention. Elevator is currently out of order. It was never in order. Thank you for understanding. Management. What the fuck? Yeah, just let me find the lore events first. Why the fuck not? Take a break. Oh my god, this is an actual achievement. There's no running, there's no electricity. How is this running? Oh, why don't we just tell Matt? He'll probably wouldn't have cared. I can hear Matt talking. He isn't taking his work with him. Where is room 20? Where is room 233? The vents aren't safe. Why am I even counting? It's gone. He did. If anyone finds this, put your name here. Oh. That's neat. That's actually fucking terrifying. No, wait. I didn't mean to leave yet. Wait, oh my god, there's 2 vents. Log 4. You know what's funny? You think that near component AI would be able to see inside ventilation staff, but apparently not. It's literally helped code the thing, and I don't remember ever putting that kind of limitation. The way that everyone's memory gets wiped seems inconsistent. I was hiding here with Nick for a couple of loops, but he's insistent he was only here once. And on the flip side, I remember Owen being here twice, but Nick says he's been here 4 times.
This lobby area was actually based off a hotel near our studios. We had to take some reference images of... What?
Out of order. I didn't do shit, mate. But continue.
Wait, level 2?
Level 2.
Since when is there an alternate path to level 2? Why would we even have that? Hold on, just ignore that for now. Go finish level 1, and we can come back to this later. Or just don't listen to me,
Yeah,
that's cool.
Oh, I don't listen to people for shit. Tip 1, forget. Oh, damn it, my icon was blocking it, but it said in the corner. Achievement. I got a fucking achievement.
Oh, wait, I recognize this. This was the original way that level 2 was supposed to start. Yeah, you'd go through that elevator, and you'd go through here to an overlook. Okay, look, point is, this was scrapped a while ago, so I'm not sure how it got here. Figure it out later.
The music is so fucking loud.
Hey, I guess that did lead to level 2. Well, actual level 2, not the old one. Anyway, just play as normal.
Excuse me? The pyramid scheme sounds fucking great. Have you ever been left with an amount that is just too much? That's so much it's just physically impossible. Contact mental CC LC for mental to reduce.
Here we go, the first puzzle! This may take a little while for you to complete. We've designed hundreds of concepts for it, and it's been carefully crafted to be one of the most challenging puzzles in video game history. I don't mean to hype myself up or anything, but I think I did a pretty good job. Best of luck. Congratulations! You are now in the 0.00001% of gamers who were capable of completing that puzzle. Or probably capable. After all, you're the only person who's played it. Wait, did I tell you that already?
Maybe.
Optimization is for losers, losers, losers,
Oof.
losers, 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 losers.
Uh-oh. Help. Huh? Son of a bitch. Fine. No. You said it. Take the hammer. The fucking what? Who the fuck is helping me?
Oh, there you are. I lost you for a second.
Hey. Hey. Don't mind me. More vending machines to press. So, what the fuck did you bring me to? Caution, renovation work, do not enter work area unless authorized, no smoking, eating, or let's plays. Ooh, the audio's like... Ooh, what the fuck is the word where audio's like you can hear it?
Hello, and thank you for calling JMC Gaming Enterprises. The person you are trying
Forgot
to
the
reach
word.
is currently unavailable. If you would like to leave a message, press...
That's why I can't walk away.
Fuck.
Alright, you made it to the van. This next part is going to be a driving section.
Why?
To steer, it's the same controls as walking, and to shoot, it's the left mouse button.
Excuse me?
You'll need to shoot at the guys with toilets in their back seats and... Oh my god. Oh, did they forget to put gas in the van again? Okay, we're just going to have to skip that for now. Sorry. Let me open level 3. I was really looking forward to that.
Uh-oh.
Oh, alright, we should be loaded.
No, fuck! God damn it.
Hi, my name is Matthew Stanton.
I
and
know
I feel
your
like
name.
you're getting sick of me talking, so I'm just going to be quiet for a bit.
I'm not...
Wait, how do I know that? Ah! I see you found one of my little Easter eggs. It's my cat, Oreo. He's actually one of the big reasons I got into game development. I wanted to feed him premium cat food, so I started making games as a side gig to afford it. Obviously, it's expanded a bit past that. I own a company and everything now, but
Oh my god, I love this.
kitty.
I'm not leaving. Oh my god, Oreo's fucking adorable and I don't want to leave. Yes. Paint. Okay. Supply closet is now off limits due to recent incident. Thank you for understanding. Who the fuck fucked off in a supply closet? Yes. Paint. Fuck yeah.
Hello, and thank you for calling JMC Gaming Enterprises. The person you are trying to reach is currently unavailable. If you would like to leave a
so
message...
it's the same thing now. Okay, so now it's the same thing continuously. Cool. I'm breaking those fucking cameras. Fuck you. Damn it. Okay, cool. My name is still in here. There's more Oreo. Egg busting. Fuck, I can't reach that one. We're going through the stairs first. Employees only.
No, get out of there. That's for developers only. This is confidential JMC Enterprises material.
Yeah, what if I don't? There's a pathway level 2 in the lobby. Take it. I'll connect you there.
Nice going. Since you couldn't be bothered to just listen to me, now we've skipped an entire level of the game.
I've skipped 2 levels of this game.
The whole reason you're here, to test a game, you just skipped a third of it. Driving minigame, and you'll never get to see it now. How does that make you feel?
Well, the fact is that you didn't put gas in the driving.
Whatever. Let's get back on track and play through this level. Since you missed level 2, you'll need some context for this next bit. After escaping the apartment and fleeing the city in a van, you've reached an impasse. A huge concrete wall blocks your path, and the only way around it is through the dangerous sewer system below. Will you venture into that?
What?
Words cannot describe how upset I am right now.
Undo shit,
So what
chief.
is that now? 1.5 levels skipped? Probably more like 1 2/3 of it. By the way, the room coming up here was supposed to be a celebration of you completing the game, but since you skipped a good 75% of it, I don't think you really earned it. So when you go in there, just pretend you didn't see it. We'll go back and finish level 2.
It's a giant ass clock.
Wait.
Matthew, we're in a time.
Matthew,
The devs
you're
are being deleted.
What is all this? I've never
Only
seen
you can help us.
You're
You're one of the hundreds of times this works out. Aware. Oh no. Congratulations, you beat in the game. Thank you for your triumph. Developers have been freed from the time limit. AI is no longer a threat. Rest easy, you found all the secrets. Exit the game forever. Don't use the door behind you.
Hi, I thought we played this already.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Matthew.
What did that say? I'm going back every time.
Hey, I'm Matthew Stanton, and oh wow, this frame rate
Oh,
sure
ow,
is bad,
fuck.
huh, playtester? We better go check in the game engine and make sure everything is working. Sound good?
I'm not
Let's
playing
go.
at 5 frames per second. The fuck?
Ah, much better. Low frame rates make me queasy.
So, you know what a game engine is, right? It's what games run on, the framework for how they work.
Are you self-aware?
Whatever, you get it. Anyway, I'm going to check on ours real quick, just to make sure everything is all hunky-dory, which, judging by the frame rate earlier, it isn't. By the way, this is all proprietary, so just pretend you didn't see any of it. Also, don't touch anything.
So I'm assuming there's a fucking AI here.
Okay, doesn't look like there's any cameras. Alright, now that we have some privacy, playtester, you need to tell me what the hell is going on here. We were just in level 3. 100% that is what happened. And then, puff, we were back in level 1. Like it didn't even happen. The weirdest thing, I remember you using the debug room to get to level 3, but I also remember you playing through level 2. And what's up with all these cameras everywhere? I didn't set those up, and I doubt any of the other devs did either. Someone or something is watching us, and I have no idea what it could be. Whatever it is.
So it was a
I
good thing
didn't
I fucking
think they'd buy
smashed
that
them.
excuse with the frame rate thing, but I think I bought some time. I'm gonna try and find some info in the game engine. Hopefully they don't catch on before we can find something. Let's see here. Some level generation thing. Recordings. That looks normal. Temporal beta processing device. That doesn't sound familiar. Let me see what it is.
Oh god. This poster does not.
I don't have access apparently. That's weird. I own the company. I should have perms. I wonder if this is the thing that added the cameras. Maybe it took away my admin too. That's worrying that it can even do that. Well, if it did. I don't really see anything else here, other than that temporal thingamajig. Just keep looking around. Maybe you can find something down here. But remember, don't touch anything. And also that you're not supposed to be down here, so don't look at anything either. Actually, just don't do anything. Stay put.
What did I do?
Oh my god! Why did you just do that?
I don't know!
I told you not to touch anything!
I'm sorry!
Where is your... Where did you get a hammer from?
Magical dude gave it to me!
Right. Calm down, Matthew. This should be an easy fix. It's just a button, right?
I hope you know the entire game's going to fucking air codes.
Oh, thank God. I thought you really broke something bad there. Speaking of...
Congratulations, JMC employee
Matthew Stanton.
You have acquired
1
JMC employee credit for fixing an outstanding issue or bug. Good job.
Okay, sorry. I forgot I added that. Anyway, Wait, playtester. I just got an idea.
You want me to smash all the
We're gonna have
cameras?
to go back to level 1. Just act natural.
Alright, bet.
Oh, it sure is great that we fixed that thing with the frame rate thing. Now we can get back to playing the game completely normally. That's good, that's good. Keep it up.
That's the, cat room. Bye! Alright. I didn't get the paint from the other room. Hold up, pause. Paint. Holy shit. I'm sorry, I have to, okay? Because I've done this every other time. If I'm gonna act natural, I better. Oh no, I've done
Hello, and
Okay.
thank you for calling JMC Gaming Enterprises. The person you are trying to reach is currently
Okay.
unavailable.
Congratulations, you covered yourself in paint.
Yes!
Not really sure what you expected would happen. Did you think there'd be an Easter egg or something?
Yes! Don't tell me there's not. You bitch. Yes! He reluctantly gave me an achievement! The box is gone. My hammer's gone. Never mind, no it's not. Process that. I got another achievement, bitch. Holy shit, it's this room before. Bye. You're a good one. Please don't let me get fucking lost in these. Fuck. That's already a... Yeah, because this Shirley's not gonna give me a headache. Fuck. The sound is nice though. I'm assuming this is the way back towards the vent. Nope. Okay, there it is. Oh shit, the cameras reload. Find the parts. So glasses. So I need glasses and a flashlight. I already got the power. Dave says he thinks he can jump in front of the playtester during the alert. They might wake up and he might be able to help us stop the loop. He's gonna try it soon. I think it's a bad idea, but he insists this is a bad idea. Okay, E is also another button. That works out fine. I think the other cameras would notice I'm doing this, but it's fine.
Hey, it sure would be bad if you went into the staircase in the corner of the lobby. Oh, no, 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 whatever you do, don't go in there, don't go in there.
What the fuck does he mean? Stair. Oh. Okay, friend. Real smooth.
Who's playing along?
There's 3 levels. No shit, Sherlock.
Good, alright, here's the plan. So remember that message that came over the intercom earlier? The congratulations, JMC employee, blah blah blah? That's
Yes.
from a system I made way back, and apparently I forgot to remove it. Back during development we had a lot of bugs and stuff that had to be fixed, but nobody was actually fixing them. So I made a system where if you fixed a bug, you'd get a credit. And if you got enough, you'd be able to increase your access permissions until you get, well, admin. Okay, look, I know this is not secure at all, but come on, we're an indie team. What's the worst anyone could do? Anyway, when you smashed that panel back there and I fixed it, I still got a credit, even though it's an issue we created. So if we just go around breaking stuff and then immediately fix it, we should be able to get enough credits to get my admin access back.
Down!
And then we can figure out what the temporal beta processing device thing is. Kind of embarrassed I didn't think of that loophole earlier, to be honest, but hey, my ineptitude pays dividends.
So you're saying I can break shit. Pneumatic lights do not function here. Well, I was told I can fuck shit up and I would have 0 consequences, so... Let go! I'm gonna be honest, I can't see shit. Wrong button. What happens if I just turn my brightness up? Non-existent. Matthew?
Okay.
Matthew?
That's not good. Playtester, just don't move. I've got the layout for this area pulled up. I'll try my best to guide you, but you need to do exactly as I say.
Motherfucker, I
Got
can't.
it?
Sure.
By the way, this room may have explosives in it.
What?
Just be careful. Alright, take 6 steps forward. So far, so good. Turn right. Right, turn right and take, let's say, 8 steps.
Turn left, take 5 steps. Take 2 more, actually. So, 7 steps total there, not adding on to the 7 you already took, but just 7. Wait, hold on, that's actually that's too far. Take 3 steps backward and turn right. So that's 4 steps from where you were at.
Matthew,
Then
please.
take a right. Unless you already took those steps, which I don't know if you did because it's dark.
Matthew!
In which case, go backward 7 steps, and then take 4, and go right. Take 4 steps forward. Whoa! Playtester, are you good? Okay, I'm lost. Right, you took... Wait, I can just rebuild the lighting! What am I doing?
I hate you. Ow.
Oh, I guess I had the wrong layout. Right, let's find something else to break down.
Congratulations, esteemed JMC employee!
Matthew Standen.
You now have
2.
JMC employee credits for your incredible bug-fixing achievements. Keep it up!
Well, I guess rebuilding lighting would count as a fix. This plan might actually work. Follow my lead, playtester. Let's keep going.
Okay.
Ooh, I am sure I'm glad you didn't break anything while you're out of bounds. Just don't do it again, all right? You can do it again. I'm acting.
You can do it again. So these things I've been looking at are actually things I need to look for. So it's, I fucking already forgot, but it's the sunglasses and stuff.
You know what, playtester? This level is starting to bore me. Let's skip to level 2 through that secret pathway that I definitely added intentionally. We need to figure out what's there, by the way.
The what? The orange box.
Hello, this is Matthew Stanton, and I'm the lead developer at JMC Gaming Enterprises. I figure since we're starting a big project, I should document as much of it as I can. Hence, devlogs. Not really for any particular purpose, just kind of for fun. So anyway, today is March 4th, and I've made a hallway. Not really much to it yet,
I
but
made a
baby steps.
hallway.
Chris is writing the story again. I think he said he was going for more of a crime noir type feel, so that should be interesting. Like mafias and stuff like that? I don't know. Sort of all we got right now. I'll try and do these every couple of days. Should help me stay productive. Hopefully all goes well.
Mildly depressing party horn. Fucking love that. I'm gonna try and get the other levels. There's a debug room near here. If I can get to it, I'll be able to load into level 2, or I just erase me and create an exact replica of my conscious system level 2. Best not think about it. I told Nick and Owen to stay there just in case. Shit. Shit. I don't know where Owen is. After Nick went to find room 233, Owen tried trying to convince me to help him look for him, but I said I don't even know where to start. Try to get some shut-eye or as close to sleeping as you can get here, and I woke up, I was alone. Owen's gone. I'm alone now. Behave yourself. I'm trying my best. I'm being a good, somewhat chaotic little piece of shit. Let's not talk about You shouldn't be, are you? Okay. Hey, buddy, friend, pal, I think they're onto me. Library. Yes. Third driving minigame. I already scrapped due to the budget constraints. Oh shit. There's not even a phone there. What the fuck? Please don't be the same fucking thing it always is. Please don't be the same thing. I would be severely disappointed.
Hey, yeah, it's Matthew. So I just wanted to check back in about the play tester, because last time I called you, you said you guys only had one guy who signed up?
Yeah, about that. We've contacted some of our friends to see if they'd be willing to play test, and we've got a couple of people who said that they were interested, but they aren't separately available.
His voice
So
doesn't
you still only have one?
Nobody's confirmed as of now.
You told me about this a week ago. You said you would handle it then, and you still haven't.
Look, Matt, we're trying, but everyone is super busy right now.
Look,
you know how it is.
I mean, I get it, but I've already told you what could happen to JMC if we don't get enough playtests to get past the beta stages. We're already just barely scraping by as it is.
Matthew, we've got a plan for this. You just gotta give us a bit more time.
Look, just figure it out, alright? I'll call you back in a bit.
Oh. Okay.
Congratulations! You have fallen to your death. That's unfortunate. Ooh, I am sure I'm glad you didn't break anything while you're out of bounds. Just don't do it again, alright?
Of course I find that out. Of course I find the what? But funny thing is, I got an achievement out of that, so it was worth it. Hey. Bye.
You know what, playtester? This level is starting to bore me. Let's skip to level 2 through that secret pathway that I definitely added intentionally. I need to figure out why that's there, by the way.
So you're telling me I got 3 different people trying to communicate with me. I got Matthew. I'm assuming it's the other playtesters, and then I have an AI that wants to fucking kill me. If you hear a phone ringing, don't answer it. Fuck. Ow. That hurt like a motherfucker. So if you hear a phone ring, don't pick it up. Place your bets if I'm gonna forget to do that. I have a headache now. Oh my god. Bye.
Keep going. You're doing great.
I ran into Dave in the cafe / laundry with Oliver just about to give me a heart attack. Apparently he's been hiding in a fort near there and he built out shelves and stuff. Gotta say I respect the strategy, although I'm not sure it's necessary as I don't think there's any mechanics here. Does BT mean anything to us? Computer program.
Hey, fun fact, did you know that we added a secret area to the warehouse?
What?
Yeah, it's right behind that door with the boards on it in the corner. You should go check it out.
Bet. Block 3, hard to really estimate how long we've been here so far. Kind of difficult to keep track consistently, you know. If I had to guess, I'd say we've been maybe a day-ish. I've been trying to totally... Should be rescued soon. The fuck is up there?
Is that a chair? Watch out for that chair!
Was a fucking chair a bomb? What did I do? I didn't do shit. We're just about to go into a really fancy ass building. I didn't do shit.
Ooh, I am sure I'm glad you didn't break anything.
Okay,
while you were out of
when I
bounds.
see a do not enter sign,
Again,
do
what?
not fucking enter it!
You know what, playtester? This level is starting to bore me. Let's skip to level 2 through that secret pathway that I definitely added intentionally. Need to figure out why that's there, by the way.
For all intents and purposes, considering that the game is a front for money laundering service! Sounds about right. Good sir, you probably hear 3 times and I keep fucking around and finding out all 3 times. Good sir, I am doing a terrible job at being just a decent I didn't break the camera.
Keep going. You're doing great.
I had to. What? Please tell me this is an infinite. I have enough spite. I have enough spite. Hi, cat.
Whoever decided to put their hands on my kids, please come outside so I can peacefully break your legs.
Waffles, hello, welcome to the stream, how are you? Baby girl, thank you so much for the follow.
With a crew of problematic bachelors, and we call ourselves the Squad.
The third one. Not the emoji. Nice. Well, I'm currently going down an endless staircase because I'm pretty sure there's something that I need down here. So we're about to fuck around and honestly find out. Also, welcome to the Untitled. I've literally just been fucking around and finding out this game. I have permission to fuck around and find out in this game. Also, welcome in, Waffle. Oh my god!
Whoever decided to put their hands on my kids, please come outside
that
so I can peacefully
certainly
break
didn't scare
your
the shit out of me.
legs.
That absolutely did not just scare the shit out of me. Hello! Hi, vibes. Oh my god! There's a third one. There's a third one.
Whoever decided to put their hands on my kids, please come outside so I can peacefully break your legs.
Anyone else want to randomly raid my ass? Thank you for the triple raid. Holy shit. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Hi, friends. Where the fuck are you? There you go. We'll just slowly start doing this. Swear to God if another one of you fuckers. I have to. Hello, welcome everyone. Where the fuck did you go? There you are. Here, just came in with Renee. I know, I'm very good friends with Renee. Holy shit, where did you look? What? Are you ready for the squad? I swear to God. Hi, Parent. Hi, Tommy. God damn it. Anyone else of you? We were all playing together to send your love. My God. That is not the most terrifying email I've ever gotten. What the fuck do you mean? That is not the most terrifying email that just starts, "Hi, Ren, how are you today?" Who the fuck are you? That's also not a lie. Who the fuck has my phone number? Oh, no. We're dealing with that later. Hi, vibes. Yeah, bitch. We're going on a trip down this endless staircase, zooming through the world. I don't know what the hell's happening. Who the fuck? Yo, my heart hurts. Oh, God. We are just chilling. There's gotta be an end to this. Fuck the flashlight. There's gotta be an end to this. I am spiteful enough that I will keep doing this.
Why are you so full of spite?
Because I'm pretty sure I have a need down here. Got dementia? No, it's going lower. The numbers are actually changing. See, we're at 21. I will actually fundamentally cry if there's nothing here. Swear to God, if I walk all the way back up. You bitch ass! The AI got my ass. The AI got my ass. Fuck you.
Hey, fun fact, did you know that we added a secret area to the warehouse? Yeah,
I know.
It's right behind that door with the boards on it in the corner. You should go check it out.
I forgot. Oh, the poor baby.
glad these elevators still work. We haven't used them in ages. I think I only need 2 more credits to get admin, so let's be quick about this.
I swear to God, if he's the fucking villain by the end of this, I'm gonna kill someone. That's fucking terrifying. I shouldn't be this fucking nosy.
And here she is. The beating heart of, well, I was going to say all our levels, but it's honestly just made a few rooms here and there. Anyway, this generates area layouts for us if we feed in some data on what we want them to look like. I personally don't use it much, mostly because it's not very good at what it does. But hey, no shame in breaking it then, right? As for what we can break about it, good question.
Attention. Possible data leak in level design wing. Shutting down all level design processes.
Ha! Take that, Nick! Your generation code sucks!
Data leak must be destroyed. Dispatching takedown bots.
What?
That's not good. Damn it. I'll delete them from the hard drive.
Trace and defect detected. Ignoring data leak.
Oh. Oh, well that worked out. Right, let me start this back up again.
Congratulations,
Standen, Matthew,
for your hard work of patching glitches and bugs. You now have
3
JMC employee credits.
Yeah, we get it. Right, playtester, 1 more to go. Don't screw up now.
Motherfucker, I've been screwing up since the very beginning. Also, Kat, why does one of my mods apparently now sub to you?
So, playtester.
What?
What did you think of that secret ending in there?
What
Pretty
secret
cool,
ending?
Right? My favourite part was when you...
What secret ending?
That thing. Anyway, let's get back to playing the game.
Motherfucker, I have found enough secret endings in this game where I probably have enough energy to spite God. I've also gotten 3 heart attacks. Sucker, going back in the vent.
Looks like a part of something bigger. Actually, I have no idea what it is, but...
Oh, shit! You're right, it is. I literally just need fucking glasses. Give me those.
I found a part to something.
Fuck, where was that room?
Since when are you an engineer? That's actually kind of impressive. If you actually I swear I don't mean it in a mean way, but you look really stupid right now.
Rude.
Anyway, let's get back to testing.
Rude. Oh, whoa. There's possible compromise. Or get to a vent. This is cool. Also, y'all missed the fucking heart attack that this game gave me earlier. Created by lead development Matthew Stanton, programming Nick Scrab, Charlie CF, Chanel Health Modeling, playtester. We'll put these here later. That's cute.
Tell you what, there was only a few rooms left after the warehouse in level 2, and I don't want to waste your time, so let's just skip to level 3. Head into the debug room. It should lead right there.
Fucking bet. We gotta play the mildly depressing party noise. Yes, I've hit every single one of these. For the funny ha-has. Charlie is not to be trusted. What the fuck?! What do you mean?!
Sewer section is boring anyway. Let's skip to the house.
Oh, this is like if you're looking at oh, this is cool as fuck! What's in here? Because I have the complete fucking urge to smash.
Ooh, better yet, go check out that shack in the backyard. I hid a little Easter egg in there.
This is the third building that I found that only has one side Matthews and how operation works. You just don't get my vision. Fucking love this.
Good. Thought that might have been a bit too subtle.
Why did it go away? Crucial puzzle elements are hidden among tips. Consider leaving and reliving to find few. That's not ominous as fuck.
Alright, Chester, our last stop.
Gonna be honest, I completely forgot I was doing these. Anyway, today is May 3rd, and we've done some stuff. Levels 1 and 2 are done. Basically, level 3 is still being worked on. That might take a bit, since it's gonna have a really big sewer area underground. That should be cool. Oh, yeah, another thing. In between levels 2 and 3, we're gonna have a driving minigame. We have to escape the toilet mafia. You'll have to shoot at the cars chasing you, and there's gonna be power-ups and stuff. It's gonna be sick. I asked Chris a couple days ago whether he'd want to have the protagonist be voiced or not. He says he doesn't really care. So we might do that. Anyway, yeah, I think that's it for now. Development kinda slowed down.
Oh, I forgot about the flashlight.
Got burnt out, but it seems like we're getting back into the groove of it. Right now, my goal is to have the game basically finished by June. Considering the speed we're going at right now, I think that's reasonable.
Damn, I got my glasses on. I still can't read shit. I can't read what the fuck that says. Which I think is intentional. Why am I here?
Ignore the signs. I know what I'm doing.
What the fuck are you planning on doing? There's not a lot my gremlin ass is fighting to hit. Holy shit. This is legacy clothes. You break something in here, I will purposely break everything in this engine sucks, so don't touch this, please. Okay, nerd. Remember, get more tapes. Nick, just for warning you that I've removed Matthew's admin for the whole, you know, if he brings it up, just shrug and say it's a bug and you'll deal with it. Don't. Want to get a proper server coding. This is embarrassing. Do not interfere with memory and processing. Oh, that makes it a lot fucking easier to read. All processing must be stopped if you want to change anything or else it will cause memory leaks. Basically just don't touch this because it's... Son of a bitch.
And I'm in. Right. Let's see if I can break some references or something in here.
Oh no.
Playtester! What the hell happened?
The fuck do I know?
Actual memories? Wait. Something like this. It happened before. You went to this weird area and then...
No.
Don't let it happen again. Playtester!
Damn. Damn, they went from my Steam code. Odd. They wouldn't let you save deleted. They won't. Huh? No matter.
Hi, my name is Matthew Stanton, and I'm the lead developer at JMC Gaming Enterprises. Today we'll be playtesting the first level of an experimental puzzle game that we've been working on.
Attention all! Please give a big round of applause to the incredible employee,
Matthew Stanton,
for his equally incredible work in fixing outstanding issues or bugs. To show our gratitude,
admin access level 3
has been granted to
Matthew Stanton.
Keep up the good work.
Well, that's odd. I don't remember fixing anything, at least not recently. So I thought I already had admin. Huh. Retcon being a flawless engine as always. Anyway, where was I? Oh, right.
Today, you'll be playtesting my first level of an experimental puzzle
Let me the
game that
fuck
we've been
out.
working on here for a few months.
Let me the fuck
While you
out.
play, I'll be giving background information on development process, as well as the challenges me and my team faced.
Let me the fuck
Without
out.
further ado, let's get started.
Let me the fuck out.
Oh, fun fact. Did you know I'm right-handed? Most people who tell you their handiness are lefty, so I thought I'd tell you I'm right-handed to balance things out a bit.
Gotta be honest, completely forgot how the fuck to get to that room. How the fuck do I always end up going into that wall? Sorry, Matthew. Damn it, I just went in a fucking circle. What? The mother called. Mother Air called. Alright. Alright, fuck this vent for right now. If I remember how the hell to get out of this thing. It was the fucking other way. Going the wrong way. I've been in here for an hour and I keep going the wrong fucking way. What was there again? Time to go back. Now what if I just do a casual, very nice restart?
Hi, my name is Matthew Stanton, and I'm the lead developer at JMC Gaming Enterprises. Today we'll be playtesting the first level of an experimental puzzle game that we've been working on.
Attention all! Please give a big round of applause to the incredible employee,
Matthew Stanton,
for
his
equally incredible work in fixing outstanding issues or bugs. To show our gratitude,
admin access level 3
has been granted to
Matthew Stanton.
Keep up the good work.
Well, that's odd. I don't remember fixing anything, at least that recently. So I thought I already had admin. Retcon being a flawless Anyway.
This is where the players should spawn at the beginning of level 1.
Testing my first level of an experimental puzzle game that we've been working on here for a few months. While you play, I'll be giving background information on development process and some of the challenges me and my team faced. Without further ado, let's get started.
Do not open this door. 39.
This lobby area was actually based off a hotel near our studios. We had to take some reference images of the inside, but mid-shoot we got kicked out for loitering. We got enough photos to recreate it though, so whatever.
Where are the authorities? They should. If you're reading this, then it means you somehow not brainwashed after he did to you and Matthew's out there. Forcing Matthew to remember stuff to break the loop is definitely off the table now, considering he just remembered everything he's done and probably more yet. We're still here. It seems that just caused inconvenience for TB, but now we have some more options. Since you're technically Matthews and other Matthews logins, you should also have admin permissions. So now what we can do, should I figure out if I got something to now just act casually, nothing's wrong a few times. I think at one. Should find spy side. I was following.
Well, you made it to the end of the first level. Alright, just give me a second, I'll close the game for you. That's weird. Not sure why the game isn't closing, but I guess you
Back to phase 1, motherfucker!
Okay, you can start playing now.
Oh, thank God, they let me skip, like, so much of the fucking dialogue. Amen. I already did that.
Where's you?
Just for the hell of it, does this give me anything new? Oh, I have frosting still.
Don't get mad at me.
I'm gonna let this play and then we'll see if this is new and then it's not close to frosting.
That's a great idea, Matthew. Let's add a driving minigame to our first-person walking simulator. That's a fantastic idea that definitely won't take 80% of our development funds. Bright idea. I'm amazed I didn't think of it sooner. Christ. Is this thing on?
No.
So something fucking happened. Oh, what the fuck? Why is shit shredded?
I know you don't like it. Believe me, I know. All done. See? That's it.
Yes, because again, we have the running joke that I eat on fucking stream all the time. This is the best funny haha gag I've ever done in my life. So it looks like I'm fighting against my life for some AI. Sounds about right. Damn, he literally just letting me roam around now. Cool. What did I do? What the fuck did I do?
Stanton, and I'm the lead developer. Wait, why are we back at the start? Did you do that? Whatever, I guess just play again. We need all the feedback we can get.
Shit.
Oh wait. There's apparently one more.
Shit. What did I do?
Wait, what? It restarted us again.
I did something.
Right, be straight with me. Are you doing this?
I don't
If
fucking...
it's a glitch, how did you do it? Hold on, let's try again. It's still doing it, and it keeps happening sooner. Oh,
Shit's
this is
not
bad.
resetting.
Whatever you activated that caused this, you need to get back to it ASAP. We're talking memory leak levels of bad if we don't get this sorted out. Oh, we can't even get out of the hallway before it happens now. And it's still getting faster. This is really, really bad.
What did I do? I did a very bad. I did very bad.
Hello, I'm Matthew Stanton, one of the lead developers of the game you're currently playtesting.
Okay, you can start playing now.
It was a funny little haha.
Well, you made it to the end of the first level. Alright, just give me a second, I'll close the game for you. That's weird. Not sure why the game isn't closing, but I guess you can...
What happened if I go back to that one room?
Alright, sorry. 3, 2, 1.
Elevator. Fuck you. Fuck you.
I don't think you're supposed to...
Stop! Stop! What the fuck?
Actually, now you've piqued my interest. This is quite the setup here. Did you do this? Ha! Kidding, of course. We've only been playing for a couple of minutes, but, weird.
I don't really have time to explain the nitty-gritty, but this here is the short version. If this works, it will merge the timelines for every time we restart. When every single interaction loop merges into one, it will hopefully cause conflict that TV won't be able to resolve, therefore breaking the loop. As for where I am, I'm holding a can't risk mask you. God fucking damn it. Oh fuck.
Is it supposed to do that? Why do I keep asking you questions?
Something is wrong.
Like 10 minutes. Okay, whatever. I didn't add this, and I'm starting to get concerned that it's gonna break something. So give me a sec.
Get out of there.
Check and...
TV knows. Son of a bitch. Nice try. Merging the timelines. Did you really expect me not to notice that? I'm not doing it. Considering what you laid out to lately, I'm practically sure that afterwards, I'll be able to deal with you properly. I'm fucked. Permanently. Nintendo. Why don't you get out your room? What? Oh shit. Oh fuck!
Whoa, player? Playtester person? Are you there?
I'm here.
I don't know what happened. Did I pass out or something? Where are we?
Room 233.
Whatever this room is, it's giving me the creeps. We need to get out of here pronto. Just let me look for something.
He no longer has admin powers, does he? Fuck.
Wait, I remember now. We were on the roof, and you activated that one thing, and then I, look, coming back, just give me a sec. I'm trying to figure out where the door to this room is. Hold on, I'm remembering more now. There was a room. It had a bunch of writing on the wall. Then, I don't know, that part is all staticky? There was a hallway, you took an elevator to it, and then it was level 3, and then I got deleted. I don't know what's happening. I'm not insane, am I? This did happen, right, Playtester? Playtester?
Mm-hmm.
Is this even my desk? Where am I?
Oh god.
This isn't the office. This is something else. It looks so weird. Right, yeah, the door. I'm still looking.
He knows. I might have fucked around a little bit too hard towards the sun.
I got it. It's outside the map for some reason. Moving it back now. Wait, we're back in level 1? Did that... Is it back to normal?
Mm-mm.
I'm so confused right now.
Ah!
Attention all JMC employees! A fatal exception error has occurred at...
Everywhere.
The current application will be terminated in T-minus...
60
seconds. Time to panic.
No! The game is falling apart! Playtester, if you even are one, you need to get back to that thing on the roof. I don't know what it was supposed to do, but it stopped halfway through. If you can restart it, it might fix all this. At least I hope it does, because I have literally no other ideas, and I am terrified! What are you waiting for? Go!
Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not making it. Alright, know what to do now. At least now I know where to go.
Wait, we're back in level 1? Did that... Is it back to normal? I'm so confused right now.
Attention all JMC employees! A fatal exception error has occurred at...
Everywhere.
The current application will be terminated in T-minus...
60
seconds. Time to panic.
No! The game is falling apart! Playtester, if you even are one, you need to get back to that thing on the roof. I don't know what it was supposed to do, but it stopped halfway through. If you can restart it, it might fix all this. At least I hope it does, because I have literally no other ideas, and I am terrified! What are you waiting for? Go!
Doing this. Did you just call me Air? Here. It feels like he's yelling at me because they know my name. fucking behave for shit.
Oh, gonna be honest, I wasn't expecting that to work.
Oh shit, I did it. So what the fuck? Don't pick up. Don't pick up. Don't pick up.
Hey. Yeah, it's Matthew. From James, whatever, you remember. I just wanted to call and see how you're doing. Everyone else on the dev team has been a bit out of it ever since we escaped. Guess all that looping will do that to you. Still, we're glad to be out, even if things have been better. Good news is someone remembered to take care of my cat.
Oh no!
That's sort of everything on the list of positives.
Rhino's safe!
JMC just lost most of its staff, and considering the amount of OSHA violations, this whole thing probably caused... I don't think the company's going to be around much longer.
They broke the OSHA violations.
Look, that's not the reason I'm calling you.
Oh.
Playtester, I have to ask, and don't tell anyone that I told you this, especially Charlie, but wasn't it kind of fun? Sneaking around the game, trying not to get caught, figuring out what's going on. Honestly, it was probably more fun than anything I could have
Didn't
ever
one of the
created
very first facts say not to pick up a fucking phone
kind
as
of
I'm
destroyed
picking...
everything with that merger thing on the roof, it's probably for the best. Maybe I can make a game like it someday. Well, anyway, with the company in the state it's in, I doubt it'll happen, but if the opportunity does ever come up for more playtesting, pinky promise on no time loops this time, I'll let you know. But until then, this has been Matthew Stanton from the now defunct JMC Gaming Enterprises. Thank you for playing.
Good, let that piece of shit stay there. Holy shit. Holy shit, I did it. I fucking did it. Oh! The game just... Oh god, please tell me it's not one of those games where it just closes. Oh. I would like to... You completed. Oh, fantastic. Your support is much appreciated. And not the sad music. Hope you enjoyed that brief relaxation. Am I gonna get thrown back into it now? Fortunately, I cannot let you turn to the game without some adjustments. Fair. Aren't in a time loop, there really isn't a game for you to play. Therefore, if you wish to return, the game will need to be reset. You have two choices. You can either return to the moment just before activating the device on the door, or you can restart completely with everything you've done in the game. I'll give you a moment to choose. Very well. Thank you for playing again. I got an achievement for that. Because now since I know where the glasses are, I can do this a lot more easier. Hello, world. Oh, God. Yeah. Alright. Ray, what the fuck did you put my shit on? Oh, cool. I have subbed a cat now. Thanks, Emerald. Son of a bitch. Every single one of you went offline. Sally will be in classmate. Damn, you responded fast. Okay. Let's see. Fuck, I make my life easier. That was a funny haha game. Gave me a heart attack like 4 times. Damn. Thank you so much for the raids. Fuck. All of you just decided to go, hey. Damn. Well, I won't be live tomorrow because it's Monday. I'll be having a possible mental breakdown as well as doing other things. So, yeah. Bye. Oh my god, that was almost a 2-hour stream. Damn.